Yo, MC Airhead, I'm back. I'm gonna consider this a part one. If I do a part two, it's a if I ever finish this Final Horizons DLC. It's gonna be like a little talk right here, right? So, a couple of days ago, Sonic Frontiers of Final Horizons dropped. It was a pretty hefty, pretty meaty DLC. It's free. And just because something's free doesn't mean it can't be criticized. And nobody better not be in no comment section typing skill issue. Or I'm going to just delete your comment and block you. Because for the most part, I'm kind of sick of seeing that shit everywhere. It's bullshit. So that shit get criticized. Shut up. Like, Sonic fans were doing good. Y'all was doing good. And the toxic shit somehow just creeps its way back in there. So this is like a pseudo review. I don't have a problem with the idea of the DLC, right? I would treat it as a sort of post-game type area. Because I'm looking at it from an RPG lens. Because a lot of RPGs have a super difficult dungeon with a super difficult boss. Tales of series is kind of known for that. And they have their post-game dungeons that is purely about skill. Your levels don't really matter. It's about your skill. And it's meant to be challenging as hell. So I don't have a problem with games being challenging. I play Dark Souls. I play Elden Ring. I play Shin Megami Tensei. And I think I just named, Etrian Odysseys and all that. And all that I've named were pretty damn difficult RPGs to play through. Even though I haven't beat Dark Souls or Elden Ring, I'm kind of just taking my time through them, right? But yeah. Now, what we were promised in this DLC is, I'm going to call it DLC, but I'm calling it, it's a free update. What we were promised in this update is that we got multiple playable characters. Cool. We got Knuckles, we got Amy, we got Tails. Obviously, it's the first time they've been playable in a modern Sonic game in a long ass time, bro. Since maybe Sonic 06. And yeah, Knuckles, Amy, Tails, because, we got Sonic Superstars coming out, and we got Sonic, Amy, Knuckles, and Tails. And then you had the Sonic Classic Collection. We had Sonic, or Origins, because we had Sonic, Tails, Amy, Knuckles. Those are the four main characters, right? So we kind of they're kind of pushing this. I like Amy's gameplay. I have not maxed her out. I have not learned all of her skills because her skill points were a bit hard to find. Knuckles and Tails, I kind of got used to. Knuckles, I have had a great amount of trouble playing, mainly because his gliding is fucking terrible in this update. Getting through his platforming challenges weren't that difficult. Getting through Amy's wasn't really that difficult either. Not even getting through Tails' challenges were that difficult. Just that since he doesn't have a homing attack, the moment I got the freaking Cyclone boost, I decided, well, I ain't gotta deal with this shit. I can just fly to that bitch. Hey, man. They made a difficult DLC and they gave you an easy way to cheese it. And in my experience, all three instances of playing as Amy, Tails, and Knuckles, the Starfall shower that I hate the most shows up, and I took complete advantage of it because by the time I was done, all three of them, level-wise, are damn near maxed out. Right? And I'm looking at all the YouTube videos, and a lot of people are beating this in like a couple of hours. I suck at the DLC, so where my file said 32 hours, I'm like 4 hours in now, bro. But yeah, So I'm gonna get to what I like about it, and then I'm finna just rip this thing apart. So I already kind of touched on what I didn't like. I don't like how some of the characters control. Knuckles controls worse. Tails I got used to. Amy controls the best. I kind of like the movesets. The overworld, Uranus Island. I neither like or dislike it. I kind of expected a little bit more, but it is what it is. It's free. I can't really complain about it, but it's a lot to do. I tried one cyberspace level. Nope, shit up out of there. Cyberspace, I don't like it. But you know, if this was patched, then it would be pretty good because the challenge is there. A problem, a legitimate problem with Sonic Frontiers in the base game was if you're just looking for a challenge, you just wasn't gonna get that in the base game. The higher level Sonic got, the easier the game became because enemies just didn't scale to Sonic. If you got to like level 60, you was gonna cream everything, right? It is the complete opposite in the Final Horizons. You don't scale to the enemies. A maxed out Sonic is doing very little damage to some of these Guardian bosses. Yeah, good luck, buddy. The trials, I like the trial towers, mainly because I was playing on easy mode, but I like the trial towers. I liked them on Rhea Island. I didn't really like them the first time around because, you know, I was having the whole sweaty palms playing this thing, so things were a little slippery. I got through it, but I actually did really like Rhea Tower. And what I got from the challenges, the trial tower challenges, this was what I wanted more of in the base content. What I felt was kind of lacking was actual level design in the open zone area when it did not concern a Chaos Emerald. One of my favorite portions of the base game is going after the Chaos Emeralds because they each came with like a little mini level. Some of them, not like some of them do, and those are like my favorite parts of it. But yeah, I like the platforming challenges in the game, in the DLC. I like the towers. Yeah, it's the combat part. It's really ticking me off. Yeah, I'm saying this is pseudo review because right now I am in the Trial 5 fight, right? And another thing about the towers is that up until the end of them, you don't get checkpoints. So, imagine the Rhea Island towers if they added a second act to them, which will make it just one long ass level, but no checkpoint in between, right? So you're already going through a long section of platforming with very little room for error. Means if you mess up, you got to start all over if you do not catch yourself mid-fall. And you can do it, you just got to be really quick about it, right? Only at the end, you get a little switch and you can just jump down, go right back up, right? The trial fights I did not like, or I don't like. Either they are too easy or some of them are too hard. Trial 1, fairly simple. Trial 3, fairly simple. Once you get the hang part of it, I struggle with it because fighting those wolves was always a struggle for me. Then I finally got it down, right? Trial 4, fucking simple. It's a master ninja. Well, not even a regular ninja. Hey, you beat that. If it was the ninja from the Uranus Island, the one that, like, if you parry, he'll disappear. They'll come at you with, like, some after images. That probably would have been a bit more difficult, but it wasn't. It was just a regular guy. And you really just parry his attacks once or twice. You could just take him out right then and there. Trials 2 is a bit difficult because you have to beat it in a specific way because it's the pedal enemies. And the way I did it which is the way everyone has been doing it, is very strict on time because you only have 2 minutes. It's very strict on time. So if you don't make your side loop attacks, because you have to make every single attack count. You can make a couple of mistakes, but generally if you make too many, just start that hoe over because you're not finna make it, bro. I finished it with maybe 9 seconds left. Now I'm stuck at the Titan fights. And the best parts of the game, the best parts of the base game is easily the worst part of this DLC. Why? Because the fights themselves aren't difficult. They aren't difficult, right? Fighting these with a level 1 supersonic are not hard. It's the ring count that you got to take into consideration. You get 400 rings. That's it. They've gone out of their way to make sure that if you use the side loop, you don't get no rings out of there. Them 400 rings you got to make it count, bro. And, the strategy is when you fight Gigento, you need to get that buddy out of there as soon as possible. And you want to go into that next part with over 300 rings left. Or you probably just not going to win. And even then, Wyvern. Because usually that is a boss fight that has rings scattered around it. Because of how long the fight is. And you ain't got no rings there. The point of it is to parry your way through it. You have to use your parry. You have to use your parry on the missiles to get that other animation where he's freaking slashing at you, and then you got to parry that before you can do some real damage. And the whole videos I was seeing, like people doing the combo and the stomp at the side loop, that's actually pretty helpful because you get some good damage off of that. So I can appreciate that the absurd difficulty of this is causing us to problem solve, right? Actually problem solve. Actually sit there and think and consider how the hell am I going to get through this, because button mashing ain't finna do it, right? So there are some ways that this is a good challenge, but for the most part, it's just not just fair. It's not fair, bro. Overall, so far, my opinions on this final Horizon is very mixed. As an idea, I love it. If it was polished, I would have mostly positive opinions of it. I don't mind difficult challenges, but there is a difference between fair challenging and bullshit difficulty. And Final Horizons leans towards bullshit difficulty. This shit need to be patched. And I ain't saying it needs to be patched to make the game piss easy, but it needs to be patched so that the challenges in this game are actually doable challenges. And there are doable challenges, but I ain't talking about teeth gnashing challenges. I ain't talking about picking up my expensive TV that I want for work for free and throwing it out of my freaking window. This doesn't mean taking my Switch, flying to Tokyo, finally ready to do this, and then shoving it down the throat. I ain't gonna do that, so don't nobody go fucking crazy. I ain't finna do that. I am going to Tokyo, but I'm not finna go beat nobody up because of a video game. That's stupid, right? These jokes. Yeah, this is not good difficulty, bro. It's not good difficulty. Elden Ring and Dark Souls, that's good difficulty because these games were designed to be difficult. It was designed so that you would use dying over and over and over again as a method of getting better at playing the game, getting better at learning the boss's tells, and getting better at fighting them. And you can do the same thing here. It's just frustrating because the difficulty is bullshit. Because I've had those moments a few times where I keep doing this and keep doing that, keep doing this, keep doing that. I'm getting better. And when I complete these challenges, I don't breathe. I don't feel a sense of accomplishment. Not like some of you dudes commenting, man, I feel proud of myself for doing this, man. I breathe a sigh of relief because the shit's over. And to say that the main issue is balancing, that's the main issue is balancing. This game's difficulty creeps up on you. You get through trial 2 and you beat the other 2 trials, Mr. Titan's gonna sneak up on you. You don't go, oh, I'm doing good here. You get to the, oh, I don't get rings. Oh, I have to beat this thing with 60-something rings. Oh, shit. That's pretty much all I got. I don't think this is bad game design. I don't think this is a bad DLC. I think it should have been play tested a little bit more. And I think adjustments should have been made so that even if you wanted to make a difficult final challenge, that balancing would be there to compensate for it. Mega Man are difficult games, but the more you lose, the more you start to learn your boss's attack patterns and shit. This is that Mega Man 1 difficulty to maybe stop playing that shit. Right? I'm going to keep going. Take a little break. Because Titan fight pissed me off. So that's the reason why I'm making this little talk. This little 20-minute some video of a black dude in his room with paintings on game posters all over his wall. Seething and raging over a Sonic game. And I don't want this to be like Unleashed, where I was loving Unleashed up to this specific point, and then I can't get to the good pieces because of this one point that I was stuck at, and it soured my opinion on the game forever. Until I get batteries for my controller and I can go play it again. But that's really all I got. This is my part 1 review. Sonic Final Horizons. If I do a part 2, that means I didn't quit. I got through it. And that's going to be the rest of my thoughts on it and my overall opinion on Sonic Frontiers. And that shit's going to be heavily influenced by how I feel about this DLC.